it's Dynamo and them Texans.
What's going on, guys? We're here live on a Tuesday, different day, but same dynamic duo.
I love you gave me no heads up on the intro rolling, like at all.
Hey, I keep you on your toes.
Fuck you.
As always, it's your boy Rios, joined here by my boy Poppy. How's it going, brother?
Todo bien, todo bien.
Let me start off by saying Dylan Brooks has taught me I am not hating to my full potential.
Dude, we are not hating to our fullest potential.
This brother pulled up, iced out, front row to see LeBron get swept.
Yeah, court size just to see his biggest ops
Get eliminated.
Absolutely. Well, do I have to? Would you say dominated? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Would you say dominated though? Would you say that the Lakers?
Game 4, no, but the first 3 games, it was never in doubt. I mean,
there were a few moments in the whole series, I would say. There were a few moments where like they were showing some teeth, but
just the first 2 quarters. By the third quarter, the Lakers were gassed.
Yeah, I would always get away from them, but this last game was actually a pretty good one.
What our boy LeBron showed, he's not Jordan, it's not Kobe, not clutch when it matters.
I mean, neither of them were also 41 when they did it, but
I mean, one was in his late 30s.
Listen, there's a big difference between late 30s and 41. You should know.
Right?
You wish you were in your late 30s. But no, it was definitely a fun series. More than it had any right to be.
I wouldn't say. I mean, it was as someone who dislikes LeBron with every fiber of their being, I had thoroughly enjoyed that series.
No, definitely. But like what I mean is, I thought it was gonna be a complete blowout every single game, and I thought that
the average margin of victory was like 20 points.
Yeah, but like I said, like it wasn't always like it wasn't a blowout from the start every single game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. Usually by the third quarter, something they
it was normally like the first half was always very good, and then they would show fight like towards the end. But at the end of the day, it's OKC. They were gonna dominate whoever they had in front of them. Like I'm so glad that it wasn't the Rockets.
Jeez, right?
I am so glad because I don't think I would have made it 4 games of watching that. I barely made it through the Lakers series.
Y'all would have seen me jump off the roof of Toyota Center.
Shit, I'm not giving Toyota Center the publicity. I'm doing it off the Astrodome. Fuck that.
And now like the Thunder is a tough team to play. Like, but shout out to their GM, man, and their owner. Like, they've really put together a team that's going to be a fucking dynasty. Like, god damn it, man! Why can't it be us?
The thing with that word though is that we thought the Celtics were going to be that. We thought, Giannis when they had Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton was like at the peak of his powers. We thought that the Bucks were going to be perennial contenders.
I knew they were going to be done.
I definitely thought the Nuggets would have been more competitive than they have been.
Nuggets was surprised. I expected a little bit more, and this is another team that they might blow it up too.
Yeah, but OKC definitely seems like the team to last.
Yeah,
the way they're constructed, the amount of picks they have left, they still have a lottery pick this year.
It's insane. Like, no, that guy, Ajay, like he was a 2nd-round pick. Like he's what the Lakers envisioned Bronny being, just this 2nd-round gem. And this dude looks like a legitimate star. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, like the 15 guy on the Thunder seems to like know their role, right? And obviously, it comes with a lot less pressure. Being in a team like the Thunder than it is like a team like the Lakers, where you have to, you're playing in front of like the world, basically, right? Yeah. So it's definitely more difficult. But the way the OKC have been constructed, to my own demise, I have to say that it's very impressive. Fuck the OKC Thunder.
I mean, the Lakers lost to a team of fucking TikTok stars. Like, that's what it feels like.
Dude, the thing, this TikTok stars, they be hooping.
I've ever seen them out.
¿Qué pasó, Ichito? Cuéntame.
Oh, no, man.
He said, I'm over here like, oh, Spanish.
In the league. I'm like, bro, how did you lose to that?
But that was definitely a fun series. New York took care of business against Philly.
And they
Sucks to
fired
see
Jamal
Philly
Murray.
flame out that way, but I'm kind of glad they did because I want them to move on from Embiid and Paul George so bad.
Yeah, they fired Murray today, so they're going to blow that team up. I think outside of Maxey and Kelly Oubre and Edgecombe, everyone's gone.
I wouldn't even say Kelly Oubre is safe. I would say Edgecombe and Maxi for sure are safe.
I mean, their best bets to build around the youth, and I think they're probably going to keep Nick Nurse, but I think they're better off building around the young players and just shipping the older guys.
I definitely would keep Nick Nurse. I feel like he is a very good coach, and he needs way more time to like actually build something there. Like when he got there, they were still riding the Embiid thing, like post his MVP season, but you know how he is with injuries. So I feel
Yeah,
like Nick Nurse, if you give him like a clean slate, he gets to build around Tyrese, who's like a bucket, dude. I wish the Rockets could have a guard like that. And depending on what you can get from Embiid, if you do decide to trade him, which I think they should,
yeah,
you could actually get some pieces around him.
yeah. I think that next year is definitely a rebuilding year for them. It's going to be a rebuilding year for a lot of teams, just because the second apron. This all goes back to Kevin Durant. After him joining the Warriors, all the owners agreed in the next CBA, like, yeah, no more super teams. So now they have the aprons. A lot of these teams that are, basically hitting the second apron, they have to blow up these teams like the Celtics. They're probably to trade Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Unless your owner is fine with going into paying the luxury tax, sure.
Well, no owner is, because you've seen these teams like the Nuggets. They're going to trade Jamal Murray most likely this offseason. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, because they've been smarter because of this second apron thing. But I'm sure, uh, you know, they'll figure out ways to do it. I mean, look at OKC. It's not necessarily a super team, but it's also like a very well constructed team. In and of itself, it's a super team, right?
Well, I wouldn't call them a super team. They remind me a lot of the Spurs of the 2000s. You got a lot of really good players and one superstar player. You don't need a team full of superstars. You just need the one superstar and a really, really good supporting cast and a deep bench.
The thing with the Spurs is like, in hindsight,
because
it is full of stars. It is full of not just a superstar and a bunch of like role players. It's a bunch of stars and a superstar. You have the Admiral. You have Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Eventually on the later years, you had Kawhi Leonard, who would go on to be like MVP conversations, right? He got Finals MVP as well. So looking back at it, it's a team full of stars. And when you say like, oh, the OKC remind me of this team, I believe it. I believe a bunch of these guys can go on to be like stars, superstars even.
Chet can be a two-way player. You still got J-Dub, who's their third best player, who will be, number one option on a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And then the guy that emerged this past was Ajay. Like, he's just came out of nowhere. And he was, mind you, a late second-round pick. Didn't play a whole lot. But with the injury to Williams, he got his chance to start it. Dude, he was just dropping buckets.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I love everything about that team except for the fact that fuck.
They're in the Western Conference, which first the Rockets had to go against the Warriors dynasty. Now first it was the Lakers dynasty, then the Spurs dynasty, then the Warriors. Now this, like, come on, man.
Let's just move the Rockets to the East.
I won one championship in my adult life. I saw 2 out of 10. I don't care about that. I want to see.
Can we agree that we both got OKC moving out of the West, or do you think the Spurs or the Timberwolves can give them a run?
I actually got the Wolves beating the Spurs.
I am rooting for the Wolves. I'm definitely rooting for the Wolves because I hate the Spurs.
Not because I think it's because of the playoff experience. Because for most of the Spurs, this is their first playoff experience.
Yeah, and I've been saying this all year. I feel like they're too young. I feel like how OKC the year before they won it, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, this OKC team is real. This OKC team is good. Like they can go all the way."
They got bounced in the second round.
They got bounced by Luka Doncic, who had been there.
Yeah.
And Kyrie, who had been there, and very defensive-minded Dallas team that a lot of people don't talk about. They focus on Luka and Kyrie, but like the defense around it was phenomenal. It was like the perfect match for guys like that. And the OKC got bounced. So I think, like you said, I feel like the Spurs, they're very well built. And obviously, if you got Wemby, you always got a chance. But I think like the lights are gonna be too bright at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Whether it's the Timberwolves or OKC, I think one of those teams beat them in a series right now. Maybe next year we're singing
yeah,
a different song, but
yeah.
I don't think they have it this year.
No, like I said, they're inexperienced. Like we saw with the Thunder, they had to lose a couple series before they, put it all together and won it all, and then they're probably going to win it all again this year.
Yeah, yeah, no, and it sucks because honestly,
It
as
should have been
far
us. It should have been the Rockets.
it should have been the Rockets.
Yeah.
I'm loving the stuff that I'm seeing from the East though. Like New York looks amazing, and now they get to rest. OG should come back fully healthy, hopefully. Right now we're waiting on the Cavs and the Pistons. The Cavs have made it a series. I love what I saw from Donovan Mitchell because James Harden gets a lot of the blame on the playoffs and everything he goes to, but I feel like
Hopefully so, if we're being honest.
every year he gets a little older. Obviously, he gets a little slower. He should be getting less of the blame. I feel like with when he went to Brooklyn, it sucks that he had the injury or whatever, the calf, but he was still out there acting as a decoy, and they were like 1 inch away from beating the Bucks and maybe getting all those guys back together for the conference finals and even the
Yeah.
finals.
Just an inch basically is what cost us.
Basically,
An
right?
inch. An inch.
If KD's toe was the other side of the line, we're talking about a whole different series. I know, understand me. I'm foreign, so I have to think my thoughts before I translate them.
Yeah.
Fucker. But when he went to Philly, Embiid went injured, and yes, he gave you a couple of duds, but he also gave you like a 40-point. I believe it was like game 3 or 4. Very decisive game without Embiid. So like,
He has his moments. I'll give him that. But the problem is when the
Yeah.
lights are the brightest, he tends to disappear.
right, but I feel like now people are giving a lot of blame for the first
Well,
two
now
losses.
he's
But
not
it's
bad.
like, dude,
He's
this is Donovan Mitchell's team. This is Evan Mobley's team. James Harden it should be your number 3 guy in this equation. He is the facilitator. He's the one that spaces the floor, and he can get his shot when he wants to. But if you're Donovan Mitchell, if you're Evan Mobley, I'm expecting you guys to be the ones dropping 30, 35 points.
Like we saw yesterday with Mitchell, he just went off in the third quarter. He was
43 points. And the game before, it was James Harden who like really stepped it up as well. And Evan Mobley had a good game 3, but for Evan Mobley to be the cornerstone of the defense, but you still want that offensive presence that he can definitely give you.
Mhm.
But guys like 7'1", 250 pounds, like dominate, dude.
saying.
You goes against the Pistons, who Kate has been amazing, but Mitchell was cooking him.
Yeah.
So I do want to see more from the Cavs. I want to see the Cavs in New York in the conference finals. I think that's going to be a really fun series for sure.
What's going on, Albert?
¿Qué pasó, papi?
I don't see the Cavs advancing. I just don't trust Mitchell or James Harden. They've not proven to be.
Do you trust the Pistons more? Because the Pistons is the same argument that we're having with the Spurs. I feel like the Pistons aren't fully there yet. I feel like they need like maybe one more piece, maybe one more year of experience under their belt before we can say like, okay, this team is ready to actually compete.
I will give the Pistons the edge, not because of the experience, just because I think Cade is that much better than both James Harden and Donovan Mitchell at this point.
But
I mean,
if Kate has an off game, I don't trust anybody else in the Pistons to really step up. Tobias had a good game.
He's had a good playoffs. Man. He's averaging.
He's had a good playoffs, but we know Tobias. That's eventually going to go away.
Yeah, that is true.
So I honestly, I feel like the Cavs, the way they're constructed and the talent, I have to give the edge to the Cavs. And I'm also rooting for my boy James Harden, no matter what.
No, I get it. I think with Cade, like he was playing at the MVP level before the injury, and still, like we've seen with him, he could when he turns it on, he is damn near unguardable.
Yeah, I mean they were the number 1 seed for a reason, for sure.
That and their defense, when they focus on defense, yeah, they're tough.
But I think they have like the heliocentric problem, which if your superstar goes down or he has an off night, it takes the whole rest of the team to really grind a win. And I just don't trust the team the way it's constructed right now
No,
to
I get
give
it.
you that all the way, through the rest of the East playoffs.
So I'd see just the talent of Cade getting them past this round. Next round, they're getting swept by the Knicks. The Knicks, man, I don't know. They're not going to win it all, but they got a real good chance of making the finals.
I think, and funny that you say that. You don't think they're going to win it all. I also don't think so. However,
They got a chance.
I think if we get an OKC Knicks final, I think we got a 7-game series.
Yeah, definitely. They match up pretty well because they got the two bigs. They got both teams have deep benches. Like it's really going to come down to the Knicks being consistent all series. Which I'm on the Pick and Roll podcast. One of our guys, Coach Ed, he's a lifelong Knicks fan, and he was not. He has been he's like they've been so inconsistent all year. I'm not getting my hopes up. Seen this since the 70s. I'm just gonna wait till it ends. So that's been their main issue is just the consistency. But since that Atlanta series, they have been full pedal to the metal.
And I feel like everybody's just getting hot at the right time. Mikal Bridges, he's had a slow start, but he's picked it up. OG has been amazing, prior to the injury. And I hope with all this time in between series, he can come back healthy. Because I want to see OG just suffocate the hell out of SGA in the finals. I want to see that matchup. Because that's the matchup that's going to win or lose you the games.
Yeah. I mean, then again, we saw with the Lakers, the SGA was not much of a factor the first 2 games, and they still won by 20 points.
Yeah, but I feel like the Knicks have more players that I can see them stepping up.
They got a deeper bench than the Lakers do.
Yeah, if Cat can stay out of foul trouble, he can give you 30 and 10 type of nights. Yeah. If Mikal Bridges, if the shot is falling, he's amazing, but he can still give you defense if it's not. OG the same to another level. And Jalen Brunson must just be one of the funnest players to watch.
Oh, yeah,
in the playoffs, especially.
He turns it up in the playoffs.
And this year is the year to make some noise. Because next year the Celtics are gonna be back healthier. The Pacers should be back.
The Pacers should be healthier. The Celtics, we'll see what team they roll out next year because they're at the second apron again. They had to trade Porzingis because they were there, and they're there again this year and probably going to move on from Jaylen Brown.
They might move on from Derek White. I feel like there's a world where you can keep both of the Jays for one more run at it. You just have to be really smart in free agency and what you can get for a player like Derek White.
I mean, if I'm the Celtics, I think I would, while the iron's hot, because Jaylen Brown had an MVP type season this year. This is probably the
What kind of package are you getting for Jaylen Brown? Because he's making 54 mil, we said last time?
You get you a Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant for Jaylen Brown. Someone else put it out there, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense for both teams because Jaylen Brown fits more the Rockets timeline if they're wanting to build around.
You don't think you can get something better than a 37-year-old KD, 38-year-old KD for Jaylen Brown? Because if you're not getting just Jaylen, you can't just get KD in that trade because you're losing the trade basically. Unless you automatically win a championship, you're losing the trade. You need to get more than just a 38-year-old Kevin Durant.
I mean, 38-year-old is averaging 26 on 50, 40, 90 splits. I'm like,
on a bad team. On a team like the Celtics, maybe he isn't as impactful. I don't know, right?
I mean, that's the $1 million question. Trying to transition back to Houston sports. What do the Rockets do?
Because you're talking about the second apron. If you're trading it for Kevin Durant, you're basically the same. 54.
But Kevin Durant's on an expiring contract, so that's not going to affect you the following season.
So why could you just run it up one more time? Just run it back one more time with Jaylen Brown. And then if halfway through the season shit ain't working out, maybe you make a trade at the deadline, right? A blockbuster. and then you swing the fences there. But I feel like in the offseason, as much as I would love Jalen in the Rockets, I feel like you said, he fits the timeline, he gives you defense, and he can obviously lead a team to a lot of wins. He provides a little bit of shooting that we need, not like extremely, but he does shoot the three. I feel like the Celtics can definitely do something, next year.
Yeah, I mean, look, so it kind of just depends what the Rockets want to do. Because do you basically try to get a superstar to pair with Kevin Durant and make a run for it next year on the last year of his deal, or
I wouldn't. I
you
wouldn't.
build around
I
the
would try
youth?
to move on from KD.
Well, I
I
mean,
like obviously a lot of the fan base wants to run it back with Freddie VanVleet, but I just don't think it would be enough. Like if Freddie is in that Lakers series, maybe we make. I mean, maybe we take it to 7, but I'm not sure if we lose. I'm not sure if we win, especially if they got Luca, right? And this team plus Freddie against OKC, no shot. Against San Antonio, probably no shot. Hell, against the Nuggets, I would probably still take the Nuggets.
yeah, I mean, it's again, we didn't get to see this team actually play together. So it's kind of
I know that's
gauge.
the thing that holds you back the most, right? Because you're like, on paper, we should have, been top 2 in the West.
Because on paper, they get past the Lakers in 5 games.
On paper.
Because with Van Fleet up there, they don't lose game 3.
No,
That game 3 is
no, definitely no game 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's all
correct.
inexperience because they just did not hold a 6-point lead
Yeah.
with 30
But
seconds.
again, if you're in this what if scenario, you're giving us Van Fleet, you have to give him Luca. And Luca, that Lakers team with a healthy Luca, because remember, Austin Reeves missed a few of those games too.
Well, we also didn't have Kevin Durant in that series either.
For some bullshit. I still don't believe the whole fucking knee and ankle crap.
I don't think he'd make it up. It doesn't seem like the type.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
This dude's hair and his ankles, only thing he cares about is basketball. He don't care about anything else. I don't think he would say just for the hell of it. I think he was legitimately hurt.
Anyhow, dude, I still take Luca over Van Fleet and KD. Luca by himself, dude. I've seen Luca destroy Kawhi and Paul George in the playoffs. I've seen Luca kill OKC. I've seen Luca take the Celtics to 7. So as much as I like KD, as much as the fit makes sense, and as much as I think Van Fleet does turn the team around a lot, I think the Rockets would be better off trying to get something like a Jalen or something like if there's anything on that level that we can get, that fits the timeline a little bit more, I would take that.
Or what about getting Giannis to Houston? That's another scenario that's been rolling out there.
It is another scenario. The Bucks would probably want at least a pick on other younger players, but Giannis doesn't fix the shooting.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're trading Şengün and Jabari and some other players and picks for a Giannis, if that's the move, the next move is to get some shooters to surround those guys with, because Amen Thompson's not a shooter.
No, he's not a guard either.
Steven Adams is not a shooter.
No, not at all.
So you're gonna have to get some type of shooting around those pieces. So, like I said, I'm curious to see which direction they go, because there's so many ways they can, basically construct this roster this offseason. Because again, if you're gonna do it with Kevin Durant, your window is next year and maybe the year after. Maybe.
It's
or
tough.
If you build around the young players, then you trade Kevin Durant for like a Jamal Murray or for a Jaylen Brown, guys that fit the timeline a little bit better as far as building around, Amen Thompson and Şengün and Jabari and Reed Shepherd.
Do you know what this team needs, bro? This team needs like a Tyrese Halliburton type. like a Tyrese Maxey type. Like I would have loved somebody like De'Aaron Fox, right? That was one of the guys that I was hoping we would sign
Yeah.
before he went to San Antonio.
And he still might be a free agent after this offseason.
I think he wants to stay with Wemby.
I mean, yeah, I would too.
I think if you in any way fit
But
on
the
Wemby's
problem is they
timeline,
got
you
so
want to
many-
play with that guy.
The problem is they have so many guards. It's like, do they want to keep the Aaron Fox is getting closer and closer to 30, or give more playing time to all the young guys, especially like a Dylan Harper?
The thing is like you still have Wemby. Like bigs are kind of different than other players, right? I feel like they're more prone to injury and whatnot. So let's say you still got like 10 good years on Wemby, right? You can try the Aaron Fox timeline right now, and like when he hits 31, 32, you feel like moving on, you could.
I just think they want to get more playing time to Dylan Harper because when he was at Rutgers, that kid was the truth, and he's shown
You can, but you can also use him as a piece and get like a proper like two-way wing, like an OG Anunoby type build.
Or
Like
even
like a J Dub, right?
Mhm.
Somebody like that, like a Jaylen Brown, right? If you are the Spurs, hell, they could even send him and like maybe another player and a pick and get Giannis, right? Like make it work somehow, and then you pair Giannis with Wemby. And now,
how would you stop watching basketball now?
and now what the fuck? At that point, shit. If I'm Kawhi Leonard, I'm going back to the Spurs for a vet minimum.
Shit, sign me up. I'll be the 4th-string point guard.
If I'm James Harden, I'm paying to play for the Spurs.
Here's take my money.
I'll give you $10 million to play this season.
And it's nice looking at the Spurs because like the Rockets, year after year after James Harden left, they had the worst record in the league. And what did we get out of it? 0 number 1 picks. 0.
Yeah.
Not a solitary one.
Speaking of which,
Cade Cunningham, Wemby.
Yeah. Speaking of which, on one of the deepest drafts, and up in the deepest draft class, we don't have a single lottery pick, which breaks my heart. What do you think about the draft?
It's actually a pretty deep draft, honestly.
What do you think about the results, though? Like, it's Wizards, Jazz, Memphis that moved up, and the Bulls moved up to number 4, which I think is fantastic. I actually was rooting for the Bulls to get like the number 1 pick or the number 2 at least, but I believe they're happy with 4 because like the top 4 guys are like.
It's a pretty deep draft class. Like, well, if Houston had a lottery pick, I would love to have Kingston Clemens from UH because I watched the combine today. Dude, he was like top 5 in almost every category.
Yeah, I just don't. The only thing I don't like about him is just the size.
A little undersized for sure, but I mean, he makes up. He reminds me a lot of like quickness wise, Allen Iverson. Just that quick first step and just that relentless drive to the hoop.
No, most definitely. He was definitely a very important part in that Houston team. It's just if he can get the shot to fall down consistently, perfect, right? Little Steph Curry type, or like a Trae Young type, but way more athletic. And he hustles hard too.
I mean, he makes you play hard on both ends because you're not gonna see the court if you don't play hard on both ends.
Do you think there's gonna be any surprises? Because I've seen people saying that the Thunder, even though they got the 11th pick or something like that.
Yeah.
I think people are saying like they could definitely move up into that top 4 spot because they still have
they got like 35 draft picks. Like that.
Yeah, they have like at least 10 to 15 draft picks for the next few years, like first round picks.
They probably are going to. I think this will be the draft 2 trade up because there's just so much top heavy talent at the first.
Who do you think would take that haul? Right, like let's say the Thunder. If you can be the Jazz, the Memphis, Washington, even or the Bulls, and the Thunder call you Sam Presti, and he goes, "Hey, that number 1 through 4 picks that you have or whatever. How about 5 first rounders for that?"
They have the ammunition to do that, which is fucking.
If you're any of those teams, are you picking up the phone?
Chicago.
Chicago?
They need a lot of help. I can't name a single Bulls player.
You can't name some Josh Giddey, man.
I mean, I can name a couple. I'm just being, facetious.
Facetious. But like,
you could
do
name
the Bulls go ahead and miss out on having one of the top 4 players in this draft
versus having a couple number ones for the next 3 years,
which you don't know what those are going to convey to? Are they going to be top 4?
They're not going to be very good next year. So you got a couple possible lottery picks, 2 lottery picks, next couple of years.
If you're the Wizards, what does it mean for you to get the number 1 pick? What does AD like? Do you keep AD? Are you looking to move him?
If I'm the Wizards, I would try my best to try to convince him to stay because more than likely Demon Sai is going to be the number 1 overall pick. I mean, that's just a foregone conclusion at this point. You got Trae Young. If I'm the Wizards, I'm trying to convince him, like, hey man, like just hear us out, give us a chance.
Give us a chance, dude. I hated the AD trade for them because my guy doesn't fucking play. If I'm the Wizards, now that I have a potential cornerstone of the franchise, I'm doubling down on it, and I'm sending AD to like the Warriors or the Bucks or anybody who would take him for a pick and like bad salary. Fuck out of here, Like I feel like the Wizards are definitely like in a really good spot to make certain moves for their future. And it looks like Trae Young wants to stay there anyway, right? Yeah. So the AD timeline, I don't think it fits them anymore now that they got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to convince them to stay, but if not, you can definitely get I don't know about a haul right now because AD's been.
No. I'm taking. If I can get a first rounder, I'll take it. First rounder, best salary. Send his ass to Sacramento or something. Somebody like a team that needs to sell tickets. Something to the Magic. Fuck it. Actually, I don't think the Magic have any more first rounders left. After getting Desmond Bain.
No, they gave 4 for Desmond Bain. Yeah, that's what a day and age, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been on the NBA a lot. We did want to keep it kind of short today. I do gotta say, I don't know if you were watching. It was happening at the same time as the draft lottery. My team, bro, Barcelona, kicked your team's ass in our home court and lifted the trophy. How do you feel about that? Nobody gives a fuck because we are the champions and you're not. Talking all this shit. Talking all this shit. You've been so quiet. You've been so quiet.
You still how many behind?
I can't hear you, dude.
How many behind are you?
Speak up. I cannot hear you.
How many behind?
Oh, you know who you look like right now? You know who you look like right now? Anyway, I just have to get that out there. We don't really talk soccer much, but we can move on.
Actually, let me touch on it a little bit. I'm kind of glad they lost because you know what? They need a wake-up call. They need to overhaul the roster because they've been kind of riding the wave of 2024, and they didn't really fix that back line at all. They didn't fix the midfield, and
the thing is that the midfield on paper looks pretty solid, dude.
On paper, but
I just don't think there's any chemistry, and all the.
Well, I think
all the backstage fucking MMA fights they were putting up or whatever, that kind of
fucking WrestleMania in the locker room and shit.
Fucking crazy, dude. I kept watching it like on Twitter, and I couldn't tell what was a parody account and what wasn't.
I know. I think the problem is just the balance. Like, no, I was talking about one of my friends is the Barcelona fans. Like, the issue with them is you got to have a balance between academy players and like Galacticos. That's what Real Madrid is. They're going to bring in Galacticos, but same time you need a little bit of balance as far as like your academy players that you bring up, that dudes that are going to bleed for the badge. And most of these guys, they get too much ego, so I think they need a coach that's going to fucking get them in check. And Mourinho is the king of ego. He's going to slap all those guys and get them into shape.
The thing is, dude, like the one guy that I can definitely tell in Real Madrid that bleeds for that badge is Valverde.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing a lot of articles suggesting that Real Madrid are kind of siding in favor of moving on from Valverde.
I doubt because he was the team captain. I doubt they move on from him.
I don't know, dude. I saw some articles that were saying that Real Madrid insiders were siding with Tchouaméni on whatever the fight. Because I couldn't even tell you what the fucking fight was about.
Who knows?
But yeah, because if you remember, it was Valverde who kind of like was the one that apologized on social media and all this. Like Tchouaméni barely said anything, so I'm like,
he might have said something out of pocket. Again, we don't know, but I think I just wish they showed this much fight in the fucking pitch than they did in the locker room. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, but you know, it's Mourinho. I feel like it's an interesting choice
because you need someone to control the egos. When they were at their best, they had Zidane. Zidane's not an X's and O's guys. He's basically, I'm a Ballon d'Or winner. I'm a fucking World Cup winner, UCL winner. Like, I've been there before. And he got guys to listen to him. Like, you had a locker room with guys like Ronaldo and all these other dudes, huge egos.
Yeah, but then they had Xabi Alonso, who was, I believe Xabi Alonso was like the perfect manager for them, and they basically ran him out of the club.
I think because he's an X's and O's guy, but he's not a.
But like you said, World Cup winner, UCL winner, he was there like.
But Zidane was like he was the leader for Madrid. He was the leader for France. Like he's a leader of men. Xabi was not that type of leader.
Xabi Alonso was the captain of the Spanish team for a while. You know, he was the captain at Real Madrid as well. It was Ramos, Casillas, Xabi Alonso, right? Ronaldo.
He was captain, but he's not one of those like vocal guys like Zidane was. And
dude, you remember her way different than I do, because motherfucker wouldn't shut the fuck up back in the playing days, dude. I don't know. I think Mourinho is very much a 50-50. He might, you know, put him in shape or completely flame out. Like it's one of those two. There's
no in between.
It's a two true outcomes. That's it. So I don't know. I'm happy as a Barcelona guy. You know, I'm very happy.
You need something about because it's been like a long 10 years for you guys.
You say that like the UCL is the only trophy that matters. Do I need to remind you that for the last 15 years, you could argue even 20 years, Barcelona has dominated La Liga.
11 or 12 to 9. It's not exactly dominating.
Yeah, but the 9 weren't just Real Madrid. It was you guys. It was Atletico. It was like Valencia another 1 year.
Madrid has won 9 to y'all's 12 in the last few years. Atletico's won 2 in that time span.
Especially in the last, especially the way that the Barcelona has been over the last few years. Even in our darkest times, we were still very competitive, and we even won one that we shouldn't have fucking won at all. With players like Aubameyang and fucking Kessier or whatever the fuck his name was. Call heroes, for sure. Call heroes. Boateng, we had him for a while, you know what I'm saying? Any random player that was good 10 years ago, we had him just 3 years ago. Anyway, but moving on to the World Cup, which is, it's going to be played here in Houston, a few games. We're going to keep it short. Give me your favorites to win it, your dark horse, and your disappointment.
Favorites has to be France. That fucking team is just stacked. You got guys like Olise, Dembele, Mbappe, like just
even the bench could give any team like a run for their money.
That's one of the most stacked teams I've seen in a very, very long time. Like they remind me a lot of fucking Brazil in the early 2000s. Just top to bottom,
talent everywhere. Yeah,
at every position, they have to be the clear favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have been for the last 3 World Cups. Obviously, they won it in 2018. They made it to the finals in
2022.
In 2022, and this year all of those guys that were there last time, they're older, they're wiser, they're better, and they have a bunch of young stars coming up too. So,
yeah, and I think with them, like especially with guys like at PSG they're in top form right now. They're about to be in the UCL final, and then they go into the World Cup.
They're probably gonna win it too. They're probably gonna win it. Let's be honest.
Against Arsenal, come on, that shit should be like 9-0.
I mean, you could say that, but Arsenal, they'll surprise. They'll surprise you, dude.
They're gonna play 11 in the box. Like, try scoring.
Hey, Mourinho won UCL's playing that game, dude.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, so that's the same for me. I think that's my favorite to win it as well. Who would you say is your dark horse? You can give me two. I'll say you can give me two of those.
Two? Okay. One dark horse is Portugal. They have outside of Ronaldo, he's not really a factor for that team, but everyone else in that roster, they are really, really good.
I think Ronaldo can still come clutch at times, probably.
He'll be clutch. Like, he will give you those key moments. You saw it in the Nations League final. Like, when he needs to, he can step up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me personally, he's my favorite player, but I wouldn't start him. I would have him be like a super sub.
Play him on the bench. If you can do it, if you keep him fresh in those last 30, 20 minutes, he can definitely do some damage.
He'll get you some goals. He'll get you some key clutch goals. We've seen it throughout his entire 20-plus year career.
Yeah. Portugal, dark horse. You got anybody else? Or
other than Portugal, I would say another dark horse team.
I mean, if you don't have one, you don't have to give me one. I'll give you mine.
Go ahead. You can first.
My dark horse, because I do think France is gonna win it all. But I would say my dark horse is probably gonna be like a team like England. I feel like this tournament, less so than last time, they're going in with a little bit less pressure than before. Because before the last World Cup, they were coming hot from the Euros, the previous tournament when they made it to the final. They did lose to Italy that Euros, but that team only got better for the 22 World Cup. And I feel like this time, with the season Harry Kane has had, right? He's probably gonna be like top 3 in the Ballon d'Or this year. I think England could definitely surprise some people. Right, especially with a little bit less pressure. They're still gonna have pressure from the media because they do that shit to themselves. But I still think they're definitely able to upset a few people, maybe even France if they see each other in the knockout stages. Who do you think is gonna be a disappointment?
I'm gonna go with Argentina for one reason. Okay. People expect them to repeat, and I
don't think so. I don't expect them to repeat.
They get out of the group stage, but I think they lose in the knockout rounds.
Yeah, same. Especially if they go against a team like France, right? I feel like Argentina, they've already won it. I don't think they're gonna go with the same hunger. I can definitely see them getting maybe quarterfinals, maybe semifinals if they really go for it. But I think
they're an older team, and
exactly. I'm not gonna see it as a disappointment. The only way I see it as a disappointment if they don't get out of the group. But
like disappointment. I think like the expectations, just because they have guys like Messi and all those other guys, like the expectations them to go.
I mean, fucking Messi. Because Ronaldo's what? Ronaldo's 40, Messi's 38 or something like that.
Ronaldo's 41.
Ronaldo's 41. Shit. Yeah, I'm not putting any pressure on any of those guys, honestly.
I mean, both of those guys, it's their last dance essentially. But like Messi's already won. It's like the pressure is not really on them. They make it it's cool, but I don't really see this.
I think I was gonna say before my disappointment was gonna be Spain. Obviously, they won the Euros just a couple of years ago, and they have a really good team, and they play really beautiful football. But it's just it just doesn't convince me all the way, especially now that they're going into the tournament with a couple of injuries. Lamine might not be ready. Nico Williams probably not going to be ready for the World Cup. So it's going to be like very touch and go, especially at the beginning. I think they're not gonna. They might get out of the group. I don't think they're gonna do much after that. But that was gonna be like my main one. But if they go into the tournament with all these injuries, like I wouldn't even call them a failure at that point. They're just unlucky. I would say my disappointment, and this will be disappointing if they don't make it out of the group, would be Brazil. I don't know why.
They just
And
don't look the same, man.
this might come back and harm me later, right? I don't know why I have this weird feeling that they're just gonna implode. I don't think this team has good look at all in any games that I've seen, and I feel like there's no team chemistry. I think the coach on paper looks great, but I don't think he has had enough time to really gel with the players.
Yeah, because they came like last year.
Exactly. And then, I mean, obviously you have world beaters in there. You got Vinicius, who, like, besides his attitude, he's still a good ball player. He just hasn't really showed it with the nation.
Yeah, at all.
Rafinha, who's, when he's healthy, is Barcelona's top 2 players for sure.
I would argue.
But again, with Brazil, it's just he doesn't have the same supporting cast behind him. So he has to get the ball way, way, way farther down the pitch than he likes it. And then the midfield and the defense is all over the place. So I can definitely see Brazil really imploding after this tournament and just hitting the reset button like hard.
Well, I have another one. And this one hurts to say. Team USA.
Oh, USA.
Team USA.
I'm going with no expectations for Team USA. If they can get out of the group, I call that a victory for Team USA.
Honestly, I don't see them getting out of the group. This team has just looked so discombobulated and just. You couldn't pay me to watch them. They've been so bad. I'm like, bro,
especially like Christian Pulisic, who is probably talent-wise one of their better players. He has not had a good season, especially the second half of the season with AC Milan. I think he scored. I'm not even sure if he has scored any goals since the second half of the year.
If he has, I haven't seen him. It's just he hasn't played well. None of those guys have played well at all. Not just with their MLS teams and club teams, but as the collective in these friendlies and these World Cup qualifying games, they have not looked good at all, man.
Yeah, I think the expectations are not there for me at all. I wouldn't even call it disappointment. Like you said, even if they don't get out of the group, it's like, is anybody shocked, right?
I mean, honestly, the last time that a host nation's team was this bad was Qatar.
Yeah. Oh, reminds me. I would say another dark horse. Morocco. Hey, watch out for Morocco, man.
Yeah, they won the AFCON. Like they got a squad.
They won the AFCON on a technicality, I guess, but
I mean, they still won.
Again, we're not going to talk about that because I don't know all the logistics of.
Because those technicalities might come back on Barcelona after the Hedia trial.
Hey, we don't even know. Hey, I don't know. You understand? Pero, yeah, no, I mean they made it to the semis on the last World Cup, so give them Team USA. Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Basically. And it's as an American, it's not saying that I'm like, fuck, man. Like they just have. And it brings you to something that Infantino said, the president of FIFA. He was like, "What can they do to fix, football in America, the world football, not the football that we know."
Yeah,
it's the pay-to-play system. Like, look at all the best teams in the world. Their players weren't rich kids. These are poor kids from the streets that went to these academies that nurtured them and sponsored them and elevated their games. Versus here, it's when a little Kyle and his mom paying $3,000 every year for him to be in soccer academies, and then he flames out in high school.
Yeah, or like he finds something else to do, right? Because obviously soccer, unless you make it high on the pro level, it's not gonna pay you much, right? So
I mean, we've been saying it for years. We've had Glenn Davis, who's hosts Soccer Matters. Like, he is super passionate about this, and he has said the same thing. We've said it on our shows. We've seen guys like Zlatan said the same thing. Like, the pay-to-pay system just doesn't work in this. It doesn't work.
No.
We've seen it for the last 2 generations of Team USA soccer. It's just a bunch of rich kids.
Yeah, yeah. Once in a while, you have like a real gem in there for sure. Somebody who can play in like one of the top 5 leagues in Europe, and like actually make a difference in the team.
But
But
at the end of the entitlement and the growing up rich, it comes through.
yeah,
Pulisic, perfect example. He's just a entitled, tattooed millionaire. That's what Alexi Laos call him. He called both those guys
I mean,
tattooed.
when he was a doorman, he was cold, dude.
He
When he was a
was.
doorman, he was cold. I think when he went to Chelsea, kind of fell off a little bit.
Fell off a lot.
He had a few injuries. Yeah, but that Chelsea team was bad anyway. It was poorly constructed, mejor dicho. And then at Milan, he kind of found his groove again, but again, this season hasn't been his best. But I'm just hoping they figure it out eventually. I don't think this generation is gonna be it. I'm thinking we're waiting another 10, 15 years before we can actually see them be competitive.
Honestly, unless they can do away with the pay-to-play system, I don't see them.
The moment they can dominate CONCACAF and actually fucking dominate, and not like their ticket to the World Cup depending on whether or not Haiti beats Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like once they can actually dominate this shitty conference, and I'll say it's fucking shitty.
It is. I mean, honestly, the last generation we saw that was hungry was, the early 2000s. Those dudes were hungry because they weren't, getting big minutes in Europe. They weren't making millions of dollars. Like, they were hungry and they were passionate about growing the game and representing their country. And they shocked the world. Like, they made it to the quarterfinals with a team of 0 superstars. Your best player is Landon Donovan, who on most,
Landon Donovan was kind of cold, dude.
He had his moments, but compared to like the guys he was going against, like, come on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, my boy catching strays, man. Come on.
Well, no disrespect, but I mean, I call a spade a spade. Like,
yeah,
they play with more heart than they had talent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that heart took them a long way.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this tournament is going to be definitely interesting. It's going to be long. Now there's 42 teams or whatever, so it's going to be a lot more football.
164 games.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm going to watch every single one of them.
I won't. I promise you that I won't.
Like, at least keep up with the scores.
I'm not trying to watch, fucking Cape Verde against fucking Puerto Rico or whatever the fuck. I'm not trying to watch random ass teams play each other.
You'd be surprised. Those random ones are like, they turn out to be gems.
I'm sure somebody somewhere will be watching. Not me though.
I mean, I'm not going to go to any games because I can't afford those tickets. Like,
hell no, hell no.
House, like
fucking Algeria, Argentina is like fucking $8,000 just to like be at the parking lot.
To sit on top of the roof.
Fuck that, dude.
Well, I'm definitely going to try to go to those fan zones and watch parties downtown because I want to be like in the mix. But
I'm sure if there's like a big enough game, I might pull up to one of those. I might go and hate watch Mexico if they're facing like a France or something. I might go hate watch that way. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we do. I'm excited though. We're like less than a month away?
Yeah. 3 weeks basically.
Yeah, just about. So yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for like Houston gets to host a World Cup game. Like it's never happened in my lifetime.
Hopefully next week we will get the fat one, see if he can give us his predictions for all of that as well. We didn't get to talk Astros much because they suck. But I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about next week.
Yeah, I mean the Astros are why I drink.
Yeah.
One of the reasons.
They're not why I drink, but they're definitely why I haven't stopped.
I mean, God, what a fall. And you know what? I blame one person only. Jim fucking Crane. This man cares more about avoiding the luxury tax than winning the ball games. I've said it multiple times. I'll continue to say it. He does not care about winning. This is just a tax write-off for him.
He doesn't care about baseball, I would say.
No.
But yeah, I think we can
And
cut it there.
listening to Dana Brown and Espada talk, it just makes my blood boil. I'm like,
I don't even listen to the press conferences anymore.
like, please get these guys off the fucking screen before I lose it.
I turned that bitch off, dude. Turn that bitch off.
You took a perennial World Series team and turned them into a fucking dumpster fire. That needs to be studied.
And every single pitcher's arm is made out of rubber.
It's just falling off the bone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It looks like a fucking Texas barbecue.
Like, who's in charge of the medical staff? Dr. Nick from The Simpsons? Yeah, everybody, it's Dr.
No,
Nick.
that guy at least had a PhD, dude.
I don't think these guys went to college.
All right, we're back. We should be back next Monday. Homeboy should be off of work then. I'm hoping.
We'll see.
And it should be the three of us one more time. But yeah, y'all take it easy. Any last words?
Astros, please, I'm begging you, don't embarrass me anymore this season.
No, I'm done begging, dude. I'm done begging. All right, bro.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Southwest A-League, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans. If you ain't never been down here, but rule number one, you gon' respect this. Just fans in my speakers, new one drop, they bout to bless us. I might right through the SWAT, playing just fans right